Is 6 o'clock, and this is a City of Ward Planning Commission public hearing on the rezoning of the property at 38 and Old 38 up through Ferguson near the United Methodist Church. And so today I would like to say that we have a quorum. Everybody is here that we need. And Mr. Robinson, would you like to come up and give us a little background? Tell us why we need to rezone this, please.
Well, the mayor is trying to get your, I don't know.
Go ahead and advance the slide.
Oh, okay.
We are experimenting new with YouTube Live and PowerPoint for planning commission.
So bear with our technical difficulties.
No.
All right, well, you can go ahead and tell us
Okay.
what
Oh,
you're...
there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
All right.
There we go. Yeah, so this is, I don't know if you can hear me or not. I'm Aaron Robinson with Bond Consulting Engineers, and I represent the owners of this property. And they are wanting to rezone this to commercial. You know, we talked about it a little bit last week. This is highway frontage. It's a pretty good use for commercial property. It's contiguous with the piece of commercial property just to the north of it on 38. So there's, you know, it'll be a contiguous commercial use through there. There are no plans right now on what is going to go in. They just would like to get it rezoned so they can market it to sell it. You know, there have been some people that have reached out to them. It's not any kind of gas station or anything like that has reached out to them right now for purchase of the property. We notified everybody within 300 feet. I provided the mayor and staff with the certified mail. So if y'all have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Are there any questions? I'm first asking our commission, since we have Mr. Robinson up here, if they have any questions for him.
Okay.
Why can't they sell it to real estate, like for residential? Why does it have to be commercial for them to be able to sell it?
Well, it doesn't have to be commercial for them to sell it. You know, you can sell it residential and hope that somebody will come in and put something in. The highway department doesn't like a bunch of driveways on a state highway. They regulate how far and how many driveways you can have. So you don't want to have a piece of property in there that's got a bunch of driveways or a bunch of roads going onto a state highway with, you know, the speed limit's 45 through there. People do about 85. And there's not a lot of stoplights. The sight distance is really good. So it's more marketable if it's commercial than if it's residential.
Any other questions? No questions? Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else would like to testify? Please come up and state your name and tell us what you would like us to know.
Well, I actually have a question for the gentleman with Bond Engineering. My name's Stacy Crane, and I live in Oakland subdivision, right behind. And you said there's been no plans, but we're all hearing rumor that Dollar General's wanting to come in.
Can I get you to address us, please,
I'm
so
sorry.
we can hear you too?
Okay. I know one of our concerns with the neighborhood is that we have heard that a Dollar General is wanting to come in. My big concern is that a gas station would want to come in. so I'm just curious, if they've had people reach out, why can we not be told who those people are and what it is
The
being
purpose.
talked about? Yes.
Okay, sure, thank you.
So, and I'll address the Dollar General as best as I can. So, there was a offer for some property, not this property, to be rezoned for Dollar General. It went through you all. You all recommended to rezone it. Went to City Council. City Council decided that it was not a good plan to rezone it. I was not hired to help represent them in that. My initial thought is you all would be creating an island because it was going to be just a one piece of commercial along all residential. But since the City Council did not rezone that, that deal fell through. So there is no Dollar General. There is no gas station. There's been talk of a martial arts studio. They've been contacted to do like an indoor volleyball arena. There's someone that would like to do a cosmetology, hairdress, nail salon type thing. And that's really all that I'm aware of at this moment.
Okay, I have a question then. So are we looking at the fact, is this going to be like, could it be a possible strip mall? Is it going to have multiple businesses that could go into that property?
So the short answer is yes.
Okay,
You could do a strip mall. You could, they could end up parceling it out.
sure.
And anything that happens from this point, if it gets rezoned, will come back before you all to review. So if it's a
Yes.
strip mall, if it's a gas station, if it's a
Veterinarian?
a veterinary clinic, I mean, whatever it is, if we have to parcel it down into several different lots, if it's one lot, that will come back before you all for your approval. And I mean, at that time, if it's let's say I don't even want to say, let's say it's a liquor store. Okay?
That'll be a long time, I believe,
Well, I'm
in
just saying,
Lone Oak.
there's something actually in your code for something different that can go there, but since it's on Facebook, I really don't want to say it. But, so we'll say liquor store. If that comes before you all and you all don't approve it, I mean, you don't approve it. I mean, you still have another opportunity to look at it and go, this isn't
Yeah.
conducive to this area.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm sorry, I have several questions. Okay, my next question is, I know he mentioned that it's not really laid out to where it could be subdivisions, but, I mean, I've seen other areas, right across the street down the road on 38, that are not that far off the road, that are subdivisions that have roads coming in off the side, actually off of 38, and then they've got the side roads to the street. I guess our concern in our neighborhood is property value going down, not having the control of what goes in there, because, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but once it's rezoned, there's no control of what goes in. Is that
No, I
correct?
think you misinterpreted what he said, that anything that would come in, it would always come back to us a second time. Any piece of business that wanted, or a tract that was going to be sold, they would come back and tell us what it is and they want to put on it. So there would be other opportunities than to be able to speak.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I just know and only 2 other people have showed up here from the neighborhood, but
Okay.
I'm just concerned, and I know a lot of people have voiced their opinions about our property values. That's a new subdivision. We don't want it to depreciate as soon as we've moved in there, hadn't even been there 2 years, and then most of us wouldn't have bought if we knew that this lot was going to be rezoned to commercial. It was our understanding, and this is just hearsay, but that Roush Coleman had tried to buy that, and the gentleman didn't want to sell it because he wanted to build a subdivision. So it's just kind of like we're all a little concerned. So I hope y'all take that into consideration, that these are people that are working hard to have a nice home and don't need property value going down because of a strip mall. And so, I mean, Cabot's got plenty of other areas. It's growing a lot, so.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak? If you'd state your name.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Ekman. I live in the Oakland Grove subdivision as well. So I am an administrator of our community page. So I decided that I would do a poll on whether the community would like to see that rezoned, whether they are opposed to it. And I'm not sure exactly how many residents there are. I know it's about 100 or a little over 100. On the poll that I did, 45 people voted whether to rezone or not. 37 voted no to rezoning. They don't want that area rezoned to commercial, and 7 voted yes to rezoning. 1 voted that they needed to know more information of, what is going in there, what could potentially go in there. Some of the concerns with it being rezoned is the traffic through our neighborhood is already an issue, from people cutting through from 38 to Dogwood to circumvent going to the 4-way stop. So we already have people flying through our neighborhood, and so a lot of our kids can't even play outside in the road like, play volleyball. My kids like to play volleyball, and because it's a more flat area than my yard, and they can't do that because people are going 40 through our neighborhood to cut through to Dogwood. So if we did rezone that to a commercial property, put in a Dollar General, a gas station, a strip mall, whatever else, people are going to be cutting through the neighborhood to get to that. And that would create more traffic through our neighborhood, more speeders through our neighborhood, more danger for our children. Another concern was more light pollution. If we put in a business there, their tall LED lights, parking lot lights, are going to be on 24/7, creating more light pollution for our neighborhood. Another concern was, like Stacy had mentioned, was our property values going down.
Well, when you address lighting, and I do want to address that because light pollution is something that do, but there are ways for us to be able to protect property from light pollution when we actually approve the site plans and what goes on. I mean, we can have them do several kinds of things to be able to make it so that, yes, I would not like someone's parking lot lights in the back of my backyard, so when I'm in my bedroom I can't sleep because the lights are on, and I understand that, but we would address those things. I can assure you if that occurred, we would address it.
And then a couple of people, one person said that he believes his property value would go up. I'm just kind of going off the comments
Sure.
right here because I told them that I was going to read everybody's comments and I was going to be fair in what everyone voiced. One said that he's lived, all on property all along the highway that's been zoned for commercial, and he sees nothing wrong with it. Didn't really have anything negative to say or anything super positive to say about it. Another person says Dollar General to them would be a huge no. Like I said, the one person that voted she needed more information would be wanting to know what's going to be going in there. I know the last time that when the other property was up to be rezoned, they had a plan for a Dollar General to go there, with the Dollar General driveway being on the beginning of our neighborhood street, which would in turn bring more traffic in. It's already dangerous right there at Ferguson and 38 anyways. So bringing more traffic right there is just going to make it even more dangerous. And I know at the last hearing as well, the Huntington Place residents were concerned with their children walking down to whatever is built there and walking on the highway and things like that. So I just, I have the same concerns with our property values going down, the light pollution. And my biggest concern is bringing more traffic through our neighborhood, more speeders. We already have that with them cutting through. One resident mentioned maybe we could put gates up to kind of keep it, like make it a gated community. I'm not sure if that would be something that would be up to the residents or the city would do that. But I don't know. I know that there's a lot of concern in our neighborhood with rezoning it, just, with the bringing all kinds of people in. If we don't know who a Dollar General is what kind of people it's gonna be bringing closer to our neighborhoods, closer to our kids, what a gas station, what kinds of people that's gonna bring in. So I just think that it's a big concern to rezone that to a commercial property.
Okay. Any questions? All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am. Please state your name.
My name is Cheryl Ekman. I'm also an Oakland Grove resident. I apologize for our lateness. We were stuck in Lone Oak, so we had to rush. Of course, my concerns, I didn't get here for the beginning, so I'm not sure what was said, of course, but I mean, my concerns are pretty much the same thing, bringing more traffic through our neighborhood. Beth elaborated on cars coming through, speeding, cutting through. And we actually live just like right off of Stagecoach on one of the through streets, and we do see a lot of foot traffic. Some of them we know who they are already just because they're regular people cutting through. There's a couple of drug addicts that cut through. They cut through and don't give us any problems, so cut through, keep walking kind of thing. And of course, when things go in there with a store, a gas station, of course, we're going to have more people cutting through from out there on Stagecoach. And
Oh, you're talking about at the top of the hill?
no, they come from the top of the hill off Stagecoach down Irwin and come on to Ferguson and go out
That's
to
what
go
I'm-
down to the gas station.
Okay, that's
down to
okay.
Dude's place.
Just so that they can stay off of 38.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Okay.
there's already some, not a lot, some foot traffic, and
Sure.
I mean, one guy.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a nurse. I know what to look for. I know what they look like. He's definitely a drug addict, and I've had one encounter with him that I just kept my doors locked and didn't open my door, and he just finally walked away. But there's concern there of people walking through. And of course, we're all concerned for our children. We're concerned for ourselves, but we're more concerned for our children. Wanting our children to be children and be able to play. I'm fortunate enough I have a fenced-in backyard on a relatively level lot. It's got a little slope, but I'm able to let my grandchildren play outside in the backyard. And if they're out front, I'm out front with them. And I don't let them get in the street just because of all the traffic. And then I did have one question. I know you mentioned that whatever was going to maybe go in there, y'all would have final say?
Yes.
Would the
In
residents
other words,
be heard
this is
at
only
that as
to
well?
rezone. This is only to rezone. This
Okay.
is not to deal with any specific kind of business that may be located there.
Okay. Well, I mean, anything that's going to be going in with the access off of, you can call it Ferguson or Old Highway 38. People call it different things. I mean, that's our neighborhood street. Nothing needs to be accessed off our neighborhood street. 38 is like ridiculous. The traffic's terrible. It backs up. People go way too fast. I know Huntington neighborhood, one man had voiced with last time.
Yes, ma'am.
Had voiced all the car accidents, and it's terrible trying to even get out of our neighborhood right there. So, of course, the increase in traffic is going to be, an issue as well. But so I'm playing devil's advocate here. If it is rezoned, then that person puts in their plan?
A site plan would be submitted to us,
Okay.
yes.
And then does that go before us again to kind of get opinions? Because last time, all of a
would not
sudden,
go
it was
in
going
fr-
up and it was Dollar General.
It would not go in front of you for a specific building, no.
Okay.
Okay, or kind of business. But you could always come and be part of our meeting and express yourself at any time. I mean, really, I know we have a public hearing right now about this, but the fact is all of our meetings are open to the
Right. We
public, and
listen
now
to
you
'em.
can
We-
watch them. Well, and now you can
We
even
stream them, we do.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, we stream them
yes.
and watch them.
And I'm glad that you do. You're a concerned citizen.
Yeah,
I like
we try
that.
to as much as we can. We want to come in person, but I have an ill mom that we take care of, so we'll sit down and during the day sometime and watch it on stream. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the neighborhood's concern is we already have an issue with cars cutting through and going way too fast. 38 is so busy. This is only going to increase it, so maybe fix the road structure and make the roads more safe,
We've
and then
had
maybe
those
readdress it.
discussions.
So.
We've had
Anyways,
those discussions.
I mean, you know, we've got a nice, quiet neighborhood, and a lot of the neighbors know each other, and you know, and so we just want our neighborhood to remain as quiet as possible and as safe as possible, and
Okay.
you know, we don't want all the traffic that something might create. So,
All right.
That's all I'm
Thank you
saying.
very
Thank you.
much. We have about 10 minutes left. Yes, ma'am.
I just have one other question to what Beth and Cheryl brought up, is if by chance, which we hope it doesn't get rezoned, but if it does, would there be an option for us to petition the city to put gates up for us to where that's not our responsibility? Because like, I'm a single mom.
That would be a question you would want to ask the city council, probably more so than the planning commission. We really don't have that kind of authority for gates. Now, I know that it would have to be worked out with the fire department, police department, and all those things too, in other words, and public works. So those would be questions that would have to be addressed. I don't think we could address those all here tonight.
Okay, because
Okay.
it is just, the traffic coming through is a big concern. I mean, it's ridiculous how fast they drive, so. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to make a statement? Please come on back up if you want to make some.
Well, I'll try to, I think the mayor wants to say some stuff too. I'll try to make this pretty quick here. So I'll let him address the gates. The light pollution, like you said, there's downward facing, I can't say the word, but it's, the electrical engineers put a shadow on their plan and show how far out the light goes with the
Yes,
downward
sir.
facing lights. So that can be a requirement during the site plan approval to show that there's no light pollution going on adjoining property owners. 38, as you all know, that's a state highway. It's not regulated by the city. Anything that happens to this property would have to go through the highway department in order to get driveway permits. They may require, and you all may do the same, a traffic study. I have all the traffic counts, which don't dictate or say there needs to be any additional lanes at this time. But if there's something that goes in and you all want an actual traffic study for that particular area, I mean, that's something that can be provided to you all during the site plan approval. And really, truly, that's really about all I have. You know, I can't address the speeding issues. You know, that's
understand.
That's a city problem. That's a city problem everywhere. The lack of police. I mean, that's a policing issue. It doesn't matter what happens if you add more. If we make it a mobile home park. I mean, no matter what you do, you know, you can't stop people unless you have police, speed bumps, something like that. So. I'll unless you got any more questions for me.
No, sir. I have no questions.
Thank you, Mayor Gastineau. Let me address a couple things I heard tonight, and you're correct. This is a procedure to approve or recommend approval of the rezoning only. We don't know what business is going in, and you're absolutely correct. Every business comes into the city has to go to, if it's building a new building, has to come to the city council or to the planning commission first for site plan review, and then go from there. And if it meets all the requirements of the planning commission, then it stops right there and goes forward. There's lots of requirements, and there'll be even more requirements if we pass the UDO. Also, as far as the speed bumps and or speeding in a subdivision, we're aware of it. I mean, I was out when I was campaigning for re-election, and cars are speeding up and down, and I can't remember the name of the street right now, the main one. Well, yeah. Yeah, so that's it. We are looking at speed humps, not speed bumps. Speed humps
Right.
are more,
Because emergency vehicles.
right,
Yes, sir.
there's lots of studies about whether they're good, whether they're bad. So speeding is something we trust. I know that our police department goes out there frequently, but human nature being human nature, you can't stop it. But then again, this also in our UDO, new UDO will require a new land use and zoning maps. And part of that is rezoning of 367 for mixed use to bring more commercial in on the 367 corridor. The entire city will be rezoned for our new UDO. This is highway commercial, and that's the perfect place for this. The developers are wanting to market it to potential commercial buyers or suitors or whatever. Could it stay residential? Absolutely, but that's their property and they're asking for it to be rezoned so they can market it out. The city, from a city standpoint, supports it.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have a couple of minutes here. Anyone else want to make a comment, have a concern? Any of the commission members have anything to say? No one? Oh,
My concerns haven't changed since the last time this was brought before the board. I know I was the only no at that time due to the traffic and the residents in the area not wanting it. And my opinions have not been swayed by any new information tonight on this lot, which is literally next door to the other lot. That's all I have to say.
okay. Anyone else have a comment? If no comments,
I'm sorry, can I ask a quick question?
yes, ma'am. Let's make it quick. We have another one in a couple of minutes here.
It's my understanding, I don't know if is it correct, is the person, I think it's the man that owns the property that was turned down, the same one that owns the property now?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I heard, but I just want to make
Okay.
sure. Okay, thank you.
No other comments? This meeting is now closed. Thank you.